everyone, my name is Jaime Silk and I'm here in Grenoble, France this summer with the University of Pennsylvania. I just finished the first year of my Master's in Sustainable Engineering at Villanova University, and I'm here in Grenoble working at LMGP under the supervision of Dr. David Riassetto and the G-Scope lab under the supervision of Dr. Damien Evrard. My research project here in Grenoble is studying the synthesis of Janus membranes for the desalination of seawater. These membranes are synthesized using zinc oxide nanowires. Here at LMGP, there are currently two methodologies being studied to hydrothermally grow the nanowires needed for membrane fabrication. My research project is to quantitatively determine which of these two methodologies is more environmentally sustainable. The first methodology studied in my analysis is the traditional growth method that has been studied at LMGP for several years. This method involves cutting a small square silicon wafer substrate and spin coating that with a zinc oxide seed layer. This sample is then submerged in a growth solution at 90 degrees Celsius for 24 hours. In this time, the nanowires grow on top of the substrate and seed layer. Once the growth is complete, the nanowires need to be cut from the sample using sonication. Finally, the nanowires are resuspended in solution where they can later be filtrated to form a membrane. The second methodology is a much newer technique that is being studied at LMGP for the first time this summer. This technique involves using zinc oxide nanoparticles as part of a growth solution, which is placed in an autoclave at around 160 degrees Celsius for 12 to 16 hours. During this time, the zinc oxide nanowires grow directly in solution, where they can later be filtrated to form a membrane. This process is obviously more efficient, but does making the process more efficient make it more sustainable? That's the question I'm looking to answer with my research project. I am measuring sustainability using a life cycle assessment approach, or an LCA. An LCA is an established protocol for determining the environmental impacts of a product or service over 5 key life cycle stages. These are raw materials extraction, material manufacturing, product manufacturing, use, and end of life. The LCA I am completing this summer is called the Cradle to Gate LCA because it only considers the first 3 life cycle stages boxed in red here. The use and end-of-life stages have been excluded from my analysis since these Janus membranes are still in the lab experimental phase, and therefore there is no data on their use or disposal. To conduct my LCA, I first develop an inventory of all the materials and energy that go into each of the 2 methodologies I discussed for each of the 3 life cycle stages. I collect this data using both primary data at LMGP and secondary data from literature reviews. Once my inventory is complete, I input my data into a software called SimaPro, which allows me to calculate the waste and emissions associated with each methodology for a variety of sustainability categories, including climate change, land use, and water consumption. The results from my study will be used to guide research at LMGP, allowing researchers to focus their efforts on methodologies that are better for the environment.